Right.
Oh, God.
Keep holding it.
Yeah, I'm dirty already.
I feel dirty sitting next to it.
Welcome to the channel. A while ago, when we started the company and we first got into doing inerts, we used little tumblers which had a nice run through, and very quickly, about an hour or so, you'd have something that's reasonably shiny, and that was great. And the problem is they all had pretty small bowls, and unfortunately, we got a very large order for 20,000 rounds of 30-06, and suddenly our little Lyman Turbo Pro 1200 just wasn't up to the job.
I think we were doing about 100 cases at a time, or maybe 150.
150 rifle cases.
Something like that. So obviously when you go to 20,000, that's going to take far too long. So, in a fit of
anything
goes, desperation, what have it, we decided to find the largest machines we could find. And we found what we thought was suitable from Dillon,
the CV2001 Tumbler and the CM2000 case media separator.
Yep.
The Tumbler has issues. Well, it doesn't have issues, it's fine, it runs. The biggest problems that we have with it are that, firstly, although it can hold more material, a lot more brass, it also runs slower. So the speed at which this thing just rotates, it takes about 3 times as long to clean something to the same level with this thing as opposed to that tiny old Lyman that we have. And the second big problem, of course, is that...
Well, the design of it means you cannot lift the bowl separately of the motor and the base. I mean, seriously, it is all attached, one integrated unit.
Yeah, and not just a little, but there's like a number of bolts holding the ball down to make sure that absolutely cannot be removed.
So you can imagine you have not only a larger bowl, lots of media, but you also have, what you say...
a motor and a stand, and
300, 400, 500 rifle cases.
We should weigh this thing.
Yeah, and all that, of course, in a larger package, which you have to angle into that case media separator.
Yeah. And that is part 2. So pouring this out is a disaster, and pouring it into this thing is even worse. This basically has a large centralized drum that you can open up, and that the idea is that you pour the media into it. But realistically, it always wants to fall back. So the done thing is to put a screwdriver or a pin in there that kind of holds it. But even then, you're just going to miss stuff. Stuff is going to come past the side. And then you're in the horrible situation where half of it is in this damn thing, and then you think, oh, how do I get at that? And you kind of do this, and then, oh, you've got it on the floor. And then when you finally come to the glorious moment where you turn the handle, it's like nuclear fallout has just got loose in the shed.
It kicks up a cloud of dust like you wouldn't believe, because of course you've got so much more media as well, and you're just standing over it and trying to turn the handle. You just get this right in your face. I mean,
that's one sweep. One sweep of this. Oh.
Yeah, and we haven't even used it since, I don't know, for at least a year.
Yeah, I have to say, I mean, that thing is truly life-shortening.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only way I can describe it. How you can create a pot like that, a bucket, an open casket, for lack of a better word. I mean, it's the size of a child's coffin, and I'm sure there's space savings to be had somewhere. But to put an open drum on, I mean, it's just awful. And where are you going to turn this thing? If you turn this in the shed, you get a massive dust cloud that settles on all your equipment, and all that dirty brass you have basically just
spread it
turn it into an aerosol to distribute neatly on every layer within your shed. Would you take that outside to tumble it? Perhaps next to the vegetable bin?
We didn't dare. I didn't dare.
Next to the fruit trees?
Yeah, next to the fruit trees.
Where do you do this? And you have to wear gas masks to pull this off.
Yeah.
The only way that I would tumble this these days, having an alternative of sorts, is I'd take it over to the neighbours and I'd say, my wrist, mate, it's so bad. Would you mind giving this thing a turn? Just spin it
Maybe
around
20,
for me.
20 turns.
I'll take it away after the dust settles. I mean, it's just awful. It's this forgivable. I think they could have done better for what it is. I think they could have, if they would have made the bowl removable, that would have alleviated half the problem. Yeah. And really, I think it wants a bit of a larger motor, that you just get more vibration in this.
Yeah, but it is usable. The lid is solid. It doesn't kick up the dust.
It is. It's very sturdy.
It's very sturdy. It's just
a bit slow and retarded.
It's yeah, I suppose the grumpy old guy grumbling in the corner, but it gets the job done. That, on the other hand, is yeah,
a health and safety catastrophe.
Emphysema central.
Awful, just awful. The trouble is, this thing is so big that you really have no alternative. I mean, if you wanted to pick the cases out of this, yeah,
which I've done.
You've done. But
you do that by hand, glove on, and then little fistfuls of cases, shake them all out.
And you sit there shaking those 223s and trying to get everything out of it.
Yeah, and then digging around and all this to see if you've missed the inevitable last 5 cases. It takes a long time, trust me.
Yeah,
far
but
too long.
It's functional. This I'd give a 3. In the world of tumblers, this thing's a 3.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Out of 10 or out of 5?
It's a good question. I would have said 3 out of 5s, but now I'm not so sure. You've taken my my feeling of confidence away.
Well,
what would you say?
Having struggled with it and having picked out cases by hand over hours.
Well, this is the thing. Lyman has. I think it's Lyman that had brought a little opening at the side that you can open up, so that all the cases and medias fall out sideways. You know. I mean,
that's quite handy.
There's stuff you could do with this to improve it.
Yeah.
But as it is, just not a bringer. And the dust storm, the dust devil over there, I mean the literal dust devil, the creative.
Yeah, what's your rating for that one?
Just awful. I mean, just awful.
And that's why it sits on the other side, not being used.
In my wife's side of the shed.
Excuse me.
Love.
Yeah, high up, out of my reach, so I don't ever have to handle it. I don't even have to put it away.
Over there.
Oh, but I don't have to put it away. Anyway.
Dreadful. Just dreadful. Let's talk about alternatives. What are the alternatives to this? I mean, we went for wet tumbler. Wet tumbler with little steel pins. It's got its own problems, but the huge advantage is that you can do the same amount of stuff.
It's clean.
It takes the same amount of time. It comes out cleaner. You have the wet brass, but all the nastiness, I mean, all the filth and the dust is at least caught in the liquid.
Yeah. No, it's the cleanliness. I mean, of course, it's nice that the brass comes out nice as well, but just not to have to deal with those clouds of dust has made the wet tumbler a winner in my book.
I've not even spun this thing, and I feel like I need a shower.
I think you probably do.
It is that bad.
It is that bad.
It's that bad.
I've tried not to touch it, actually, for exactly that reason.
My hands feel dry. It's that bad.
Yeah.
It's just being in the same room with it. Just awful. I mean,
put it away.
Seriously. As a company, I like Dillon, you know, although whenever we go to the IWA, they don't have a hat or a t-shirt. I can overlook that. Not even a pen. Not even a damn pen. But I can overlook that. But that thing, no, I'm sorry, that's a step too far. It's just...
Yeah, It's the life-shortening. I look at it and I feel my lungs going... sort of gradually.
To be fair, the one thing in their defense, a lot of the media separators these days still don't have lids. I mean, this is the thing. If you need to have such a massive box, for $2-3 you could have had a lid for that manufactured. You know, I mean, it could be thin and flimsy, but just something to contain that dust.
Just a cover, even a fabric thing.
And I have to say, that we do put bounty cloths or what have you, those stronger type of
Yeah, sort of paper towel type.
paper towels, but not thin ones, quite thick ones. You know, kitchen towels. We put that in there just to try and soak up the dust as much as possible.
Yeah. And they come out.
Yeah, into the dry tumbler. You know, I mean, I cut 2-3 sheets into this thing.
Yeah.
And they come out filthy.
Yeah.
But and then you still have the dust. I mean, it's just, yeah. So now, just because we love you people, all of 2 of who watches this video, we're going to take some footage and we're going to spin this catastrophe up. And I think
it's time to reach for the gas mask, isn't
oh
it?
God, it's so bad. It is so bad. It's so bad.
I can't believe we did it as many times as we did.
Awful. Just awful.
Several months of it, and that was enough. So, right, let's get on with showing you how this all works.
Okay, try that. Yeah, you can pour this. That is so much worse than I remember.
Awful. I still have to get all this stuff off. You ready? You might want to hold your breath for this one too.
Will do. Yeah.